SMX Insider Post Race Show brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. This was the Crestview Construction Southwick National, all part of Monster Energy SuperMotocross. Maybe the most intrigue ever coming into the Southwick National. James, you said it at the top of the race show that normally the focus is just on the track and the sand and the surface, but the characters are really the stars today. And Jet Lawrence persevered, but man, there was so much that happened for him to get there. Yeah, a lot to get into here. Jet breaking it down with Megawatt, the live PA announcer.
Hopefully this time we can hold on to it for a little longer, but no.
Yeah, we talked about it at the opening show with the, talking about the riders and athletes with the Coonan brothers coming over here. Southwick, I don't think she liked that because she played a huge part in this race. Yes. Got very challenging, but yeah, the story was coming in and it lived up to it. Honestly, this is, I think a big picture, we'll drill down into it more, but this is actually what you wanted. You wanted a response from the champ. You wanted to see Hunter Lawrence continue that momentum, what he's did. You wanted to see Hayden Deegan get better, Jorge Prado get fight. Kind of answered all the things and saw what we wanted to see. But, man, this is a great, great, great championship here, both classes.
Yeah, unfortunately lost in that now is Joe Shimoda. He went down in qualifying. I believe he broke his collarbone. So that's going to drop him way back in points. And you would presume he won't be racing next weekend either, so that's really going to wreck his title hopes, but it's still very close to the 250s. Saw the frustration from Jet last week. Even though the first moto today got away from him, you quickly picked up, he seemed a lot more positive, so he knew the difference today.
No, he did, and you know, at the same time, like, I think he realized, look, I got to figure it out, and you know, shout out to him and HRC Honda, just trying to figure out whatever makes their rider comfortable. But at the same time, Jet had to come out here and execute because all the momentum's favoring his brother, Hunter Lawrence. Like he's been able to beat him a couple different ways. He's won 3 overall so far this year. So it looked like Hunter Lawrence and Jet really showed up here, and maybe in a day that you wouldn't even say he had his best, but he figured it out and needed his best and had it at the end, kept that pressure on the brother, ends up getting it, and he gets an overall back on top. So now they're tied in overalls, 1 point.
Oh man,
just even, everything.
Yeah, this is considered tied all around.
Congratulations, Brent.
Highlights from Pro Motocross at Southwick, the sand track in America. Normally that is the hot topic, just how will the riders adapt to the surface, but even hotter topic is on the right there. Lucas Coonan coming over to visit the Belgium native, hanging out with Jet Lawrence before the moto, and he was the fastest rider in qualifying coming over from the MXGP Championship. So he might have been a favorite, but you'll see he goes down here off the start of Moto 1.
Yeah, a tough break for him, goes down. I mean, he would get up really just as a treat. I mean, you've seen what we need to see with him. He's going to be good. If he comes over here, it's going to be great. I wish I would have seen him out front because I think he would have been pretty impressive, just like his brother. But nonetheless, it was these two, 1 and 2 for the championship. Jet Lawrence needed to kind of have an answer after the last couple weekends, and he did. He was able to stay in front of his brother, Hunter Lawrence, here early in the moto. You see Hayden Deegan in that 3rd place now. Saw Lucas go down early in that moto in the first corner. He passed over half the field that first lap, but here it is, getting past Cooper Webb. We had a pretty solid day for him. RJ had a tough day in that first moto. This is 1 of 2 crashes. Just trying to get back on the motorcycle. Here's got another pass for Lucas here. He's going to get past Dylan Ferrandis. Now, the whole time when he was catching these guys, he was passing them so quick. His line selections, just opening his track up, he had it going. Got Jorge here. This is for 4th spot. Now, this is the farthest he would get up, but Jorge did a good job at continuing to fight, just like he did in the second moto with Hayden Deegan. But Lucas just had the pace going. Jet Lawrence, just like we're going to see in his brother in the second moto out front, seemed like he might have had him on the ropes, goes down, but he gets back up. Hayden Deegan slides in quite a bit, like pretty close behind him, but Jet was able to get back up, hold on for 2nd place. Lucas Coonan with 2 laps left. You see Jorge there behind him, looks like a bike problem to him, gets up. Luckily, he was able to kind of give us a little wave and says, I think he's okay, not hurt, but tough break for him to kind of end it. What could have been here if I would have seen him. Red flag, we saw Christian Craig go down. But Hunter Lawrence at this point had this race left. It was only one lap left. He had it pretty much wrapped up, and he would go on to win this first moto. Hunter Lawrence back on top again.
Yep, that was Jet crashing for the lead in that one. Stay tuned for Moto 2. Big difference off the start this time. Deegan able to get out second and ahead of Jet Lawrence.
Yep, top 4 in that first moto. Running 1 through 4. You see Jorge behind him. Jet Lawrence in 3rd place. Now, he actually kind of went after Hayden Deegan early in this race, but Hayden had a good pace, as you can see throughout this moto. But Hunter was starting to get away a little bit. Jet Lawrence put in those afterburners because he knew he needed to get around the 38 after working on him for a few laps. He was able to get up to him. Hayden did a great job at staying close to him. He almost goes down. That was close to going down. But keeping that pressure. At this point, Hunter was starting to do what Jet did that first moto and then hits neutral. I thought he did, the way he fails, but our Jason, we were sitting here about to get it to him. Yep. I did the first moto. Hunter Lawrence hits his, knocks the wind out of him. At this point, you're gonna watch Hayden Deegan go around him for 2nd place, and Jorge goes down, but the champ bounced back. And like I said, it was a big moment in this championship. I think both these guys won today. Hunter saw what we needed to see. Jet made some improvements on the bike, and we got to fight. What, 5 rounds left on this. It's going to be great to see. Keep him down a little bit. Jet Lawrence out top.
And Deegan on the podium along with Hunter and Jet as well. That was a big battle, actually down to the last lap. Prado put in a charge and tried to get to Deegan. Deegan held him off. And that was the difference between 3rd and 4th overall. It's been close like that between Deegan and Prado quite a bit this year. Garrett Marchbanks has been doing this pretty much all year. 5-5 for 5th, rock solid on the Monster Energy Kawasaki ahead of Webb, Ferrandis, Hampshire, Harrop, and Smith. Put 2 triumphs into the top 10. And you see the point standings here. It's practically tied. A 1-point advantage to the good for Jet Lawrence. Back to the point lead after Hunter had taken it over the last few weekends. An incredible championship fight. And it's impossible when you look at their moto scores and the way they race each other to try to guess what's coming next, because they're so close.
And that's how the racing's been. When you think Jet's close in, Hunter picks it up, and vice versa, it's literally dead even. What makes this pretty cool to watch.
Now, when you combine the Supercross points, of which Jet Lawrence does not have any, together with the motocross points, get the SMX World Championship seeding for the playoffs. Big advantage for Hunter. He's looking at being the #1 seed coming in. And if that's as close as the motocross standings are, a couple of extra seeding points for him could make all the difference. Deegan has climbed to 13th, battling Hampshire. And Craig, who is really thinking about those points to have that big crash in the first moto. Hopefully he can get back and collect more points and be rewarded for his efforts indoors and out. So a good day today all around. All these riders are digging. I was saying earlier about Cooper Webb. I know it's not the results that he's had in Supercross, but the point is he's still got to work hard even to get where he is, which is in the top 10. And moments ago, he talked to Katie.
6th overall for Cooper Webb, your best finish of the season, but it wasn't without a lot of fight, both on the track and off. What's going on?
Yeah, it's best result so far this season with a 6 is awesome. Still struggling being sick, so that was a burner. Lungs were burning, legs were burning, heart rate through the roof. It was an absolute suffer, so proud of myself. It's been a long time since, I've been, even though it's a 6, like for me, that's a good result. So I was pumped with that and made progress, ran with Marchbanks for a few laps, which was great. So that's all we're trying to do is get closer to that top 5, and today we took a big step. Team did a great job with a bike change, and yeah, man, it's just, even though it's not a podium, it's good to get an interview finally and keep digging. And yeah, it's nothing like suffering at Southwick. And it's a crazy feeling.
While we have you here for that interview, the mentorship and the relationship that you've been building with Hayden, that was a hot topic here this weekend, the time you guys have spent. How special is that bond now compared to at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, me and Hayden always gotten along great. He's always been a training partner, but now we're teammates, and obviously he's another level of me outdoors, but if there's anything I can help him with, I try to, and we've been doing a lot of testing together, trying to get him more comfortable. Obviously, I don't go his speed, but if I can help him get a better result and the team get a better result, that's what we're going to try to do. So we did a test here. I think it paid off, and hopefully, it can help him get a little better, get me better, and yeah, just trying to be a team player at this point in my career.
All right, thank you for your time. Feel better.
.250 highlights from Southwick Championship. Ultra close coming into this round of Monster Energy SMX. Joe Shimoda a slim point lead over Cole Davies, but unfortunately for Shimoda, it goes wrong in qualifying.
Really bummed for the HRC Honda, Joe Shimoda, you know, coming back, getting that red plate. And, you know, when we first saw him, well, we saw him kind of the aftermath, you know, riding off. He thought he'd be good, this shot right here. So I'm like, all right, times are pretty much locked in, but obviously the injury was a lot worse. So bummer for him, really getting back to Joe Shimoda after that injury he had pre-Supercross. Hopefully he'll be back soon enough. I know the fans gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him as well.
So we're off to 250 Moto 1. Watch Sasha Kunin around the outside. Almost crashes once and a couple more times.
Yeah, it's going to be a theme of this opening lap here, maybe kind of somewhat today. Him and Cole Davies, who's someone who's figured out these stars for the championship contenders. That's a problem, 37 out front. But once Sasha got up there, he almost goes down here. He almost goes down here. Then he almost goes down here. And eventually, we'll get to it later in the moto, he goes down in a corner, a couple corners later. But Levi Kitchen made a huge mistake opening lap here at his first moto. After about 4 motos are just so-so, he kind of knew he needed to have a good route here today, and that's what he did this first moto, going back to almost 10th, getting back up, making a pass on Julian. Now Cole pretty much had this thing sewed up in second place. Ryder D was close, but he's going to gain some points, goes down here, ends up going back to around the top 10, and he wasn't able to, ends up getting back up to, I think, 6th that moto, but costly for him. Levi kept marching his way up. Here it is. Gonna go around the outside of Chance Hymas, who had a good day today. Love what I saw from him. The second moto got a little tough, but just like it did for everybody. But here's the last pass for Levi. Second place, Ryder D had a solid first moto, but Levi was just on pace, had a good gap, the best of the rest. And the guy we haven't shown since he almost crashed about 5 times that first lap was this dude. And people, when I mean he was way out front, I mean he was way out front. He came out here and laid it down. 30+ seconds, and it could have been way more. And this is after he's waving to the fans, and fans here at Southwick appreciated that victory.
Great sign for the 19-year-old visitor from Belgium. Go to 250 Moto 2. Davies is back, wants to get up front again. They're battling for the lead. This time Davies has it.
Yeah, Levi's a little bit closer. He gets up into 3rd spot. Ryder D's up there as well. I believe he goes down pretty early in this race. For him, I believe it's this race, yeah. They all starting to familiarize, but yeah, when you talk about championship, Levi needed to seize on this opportunity, but he's going to get passed by Sasha right here. He's going to go around the outside of Ryder D and then make his way around Levi as well, and then the battle for the lead was going to be on. Here it is. Opening lap goes up the inside of Levi Kitchen. Levi kind of understood. Sasha just had a better pace today. Cole Davies was starting to get away. Again, this was the opening lap. And then he went to work on Cole Davies, who put up a great fight for him. Here it is, finally, about 5-6 laps into it, Sasha gets to him, and the way he had that speed that first moto, you would think this race was over. But Southwick is like, nah, we'll get to him in a soon. But shout out to Caden Manier, able to pass his teammate in that first moto, Cole Davies, last lap for 6th, I believe. Now here it is, Levi Kitchen, who is leading the points at this moment. He ends up getting around, but yeah, a couple laps left. Sasha overjumps this, goes down hard. Big hit for him. He's going to get back up, but not realizing that he was a little bit more hurt than what he wanted. He pulled his goggles off. This is the lead that he had. Cole Davies, you don't even see him in the shot still. So he's going to end up winning this race, injured with no goggles, one arm, excuse me. But hopefully he's okay, but he's ended up hanging on and going 1-1 into the day. But unfortunately for him, he wouldn't get up on the podium to be able to celebrate that trophy. His mechanic was, but Sasha, great ride, man. Kid, you got it all. Looking forward to seeing you here in the future. Hopefully you're okay.
Yeah, so this is, listen closely. Yeah, you hear him yelling broke collarbone. We don't have that confirmed, so we'll find out further when we can what the extent of the injury is. That is unbelievable that he finished the race and won it. His mechanic ends up going to the podium to take the trophy for him because he was obviously being checked out by the medics and the team.
Yeah, hopefully he's all right. You know, it's funny listening to somebody say, give him water. It sounded like my dad. I used to say, Dad, I'm hurt. Just put some water on it, son. You'll be all right. But All kidding aside, hopefully he's all right, and yeah, I'm sure he's going to do everything. And you know, he's got a championship he's fighting for too. So both those brothers, good showing here. Levi Kitchens ends up second overall, Cole Davies third, but great day of racing. Cade Manier top 5 there, Julian as well, Chance Hymas, good stuff.
Yeah, a moto podium there for Manier. He rode really well. Championship looks like this. At one point, it looked like Kitchen might leave today with a point lead. Instead, it's Davies by 2. Shimoda appears to be in it, but with the broken collarbone for him, unless he can somehow get back by next weekend and not lose any more points, which is a very, very tall order, it might be now between Davies and Kitchen, and Davies is no doubt rallying. That first moto crash was costly, but on balance, he's been the best of the non-Coonan racers in this field over the last couple of weeks. Beaumaire, nice bounce back for him after a rough day at Redbud, but he was rock solid today. You look at the combination Supercross, motocross points together, Davies in the SMX standings ahead of Kitchen, and they're very consistent all season long. Ryder DeFrancisco, who was working on another podium today, but he did have that crash, as you mentioned, in the second moto. Combine the points. Beaumaire didn't race Supercross. He's moving up. He will be dangerous in the playoffs if he can move far enough up in the seeding. So watch for the number 13 to keep rallying from here. Unbelievable day at Southwick. Well, we knew there were going to be a lot of stories leaving here because there were so many going in. This track often tells a lot of those tales. Send it back down to Jason Thomas.
Yeah, I think a lot of those stories today are they're horror stories or nightmares for some of these guys because this track is so rough. And you'll see right behind me, this is a prototypical Southwick ledge bump, and it forces the riders to get out of the seat, stand up, pull up on the motorcycle to climb this thing. But I talked about early in the second 450 moto about if you looked around like Hayden Deegan was doing, you could find some smooth lines. Now, look at this very side line right here. It's smooth all the way up into the corner. You can see you go around all of the bumps, but you have to look, you have to open your eyes, and you have to be open-minded, and voila, yes, that's French for the French broadcast. You can find smooth lines around this racetrack when you don't think they're there, but if you just kind of follow the leader, you stay in that main line, it's going to be a very rough day for you. So yes, Southwick is brutal, it's incredibly difficult to navigate, but a lot of these guys with the local knowledge, they know where these insides and outsides are going to form, can make a life a lot easier.
That's good stuff there, JT. The Southwick ledge bump. Been over a couple of those in your time?
Oh, I've been on a few of those, plenty.
All right, so that's interesting here. So what's wild at Southwick, yes, it's its own unique animal as far as the sand is. And there was a lot of talk about Coonan brothers. They're good sand riders. Prado a good sand rider, but Southwick is different. But honestly, it seems like today sand was kind of sand. Guys that were good, expected to be good, even though it didn't show for Lucas in the results, they're fast.
No, they're fast.
Yeah.
They're fast. Like I said, we don't have to talk much about him because he's got plenty. But yeah, as JT was saying, there's ways to go around this track, and that's why it's impressive to see what Cole Davies did, Lucas and Sasha, to be able to understand that, because you do have to have that knowledge, especially in these second motos. I mean, how do you get around this stuff, you know? And to be able to fight just shows you the pace that Hunter and Jet had, Hayden Deegan, and same thing with Jorge. That second moto, that they're still running those low lap times in this kind of mess, but figuring out this racetrack, learning how this thing plays out, and then on top of that, battling each other.
Yeah.
It's really impressive to watch these guys. And it was a lot of stuff happened today, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, some good, but some bad. So we're going to have Katie catch up now to Ian Harrison with KTM, maybe get an update on some of their riders. Katie?
Yeah, a whole handful of riders here with Ian Harrison. Let's first start with Lucas and Sasha Coonan. What is the result? How is Sasha feeling?
Well, we're super proud of Sasha. I mean, he went 1-1 today, amazing result. He did end up having a crash and banging up his shoulder, and tomorrow he's going to get some further evaluation on it. I'm just blown away, you know, like, yeah, superhero. Yeah, a great ride by him, absolutely. And then Lucas showed tremendous speed through practice. And then he had a crash in the first moto there, and he took a really hard hit. And we got him back to the truck. We brought the bike back. We checking the bike to make sure that there's nothing there. He decided that he would not race for the rest of the day, and I get it. The guy next weekend he has a GP. He's leading the championship, so I get that part. I'm glad they came over. They definitely tried their best. We can't say that they didn't hold anything back. A great day with them.
And then meanwhile, the regular guys here under the tent with Juju and with Prado, great runs as well. How proud are you of what they put together today?
Yes, definitely. I just watched that second moto, and Prado was right in there with of course the two Lawrences and Deegan. So great race for him to fight all the way to the end, because today's tough conditions. The track is really demanding, and the heat. So proud of him. Good fight there. And Julian is like 100% better than last year. I think last year we got 25th overall here, and he finished 5th today. So absolutely superb ride, especially the second moto coming back from I think 14th or 17th around there to come back. Great ride for him.
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're juggling a lot of hats right now as pieces are pulled together. Guys.
Yeah, thanks, Katie, because I got two other riders to worry about under there, and I would imagine goal number one was to make sure the Coonans get out of here safe. Hopefully it's not too bad. Here's the upcoming schedule of the next race for Pro Motocross, which will be Spring Creek, Millville, Minnesota. Race Day Live will begin the coverage at 11 a.m. Eastern. Qualifying will give you an hour of coverage of that, and then the racing will begin at 2 o'clock Eastern time. That's the Parts Unlimited upcoming schedule. You can watch everything live on Peacock or the SMX Video Pass outside the United States. Speaking of Spring Creek, here's the Yamaha track map, James.
Yeah, mountains galore. It looks like they might have changed it up here in that middle part. Mount Martin used to come straight down there. Downhill, looks like they put an S in it, but we'll figure it out. But those sand rollers down there in the bottom right, those feels like Southwick here. Great race, and if you go back to last year, this is one of the first times that we saw Hunter Lawrence kind of just beat his brother straight up. So that first moto, looking forward to seeing him with that. This 250 class is going to be good, but just like here at Southwick, that track's going to demand a lot of respect. These guys are going to have to give it to her.
Ignore the track at the top of the hill. That's just the Martin Brothers special turn track up there that they used in all their years of winning races. It'll be fun to hang out with them. Now the brothers helping operate that race, the FXR Spring Creek National, with their parents at their track. That was a spectacular one last year when Jeremy Martin went out for his career with a moto win. We expect more drama next week. Championships ultra close. 1 point lead in the 450s, 2 point lead in the 250s. It doesn't get much better than that. Thank you to the Coonan brothers for coming over and putting on a show. The fans loved it today at Southwick. But in the end, Sasha Coonan and Jet Lawrence as the winners from the Sands here in Massachusetts. Thanks for watching the Post Race Show, brought to you by Bass Pro Shops.